Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Deliberately Intentional. We have a very, very special guest in the studio today. This one is not like a regular guest for me. It's not all of my guests are special, but he in particular has been so instrumental to my life. There are so many experiences that I probably would never have had if not for him. So the topic of today's episode is intentional friendships. And my guest today is the one and only Bukola Olopade.
Hello, hello, viewers. Nice to be here.
He is the CEO of Nilayo Sports Management in Nigeria. It's an international based company, Egbon, right?
Yeah,
I call him Egbon because I should let him tell the story of how we met because he knows it better than I do. You remember it. His memory is better than mine in that regard.
well, I mean, we met
90 something, 90 what?
91, 92, 93.
Okay.
Um, yeah, 92.
92. The second
Jamaica
year. Yes.
University.
Yes.
Um, and it was my second rodeo on the university campus. I haven't been to Osu in Ogun State before. I was just a chilled Jambite who had garnered experiences from my A levels from Ogun Poly to my rodeo at Ogun State University, and I just thought, let me play the big boy, jump right and chill out. One day, yourself and Tinuke Ogunyaki were gisting like Akure girls. Myself and Ebidowe were discussing football, and somewhere along the line, you actually walked up to us, and it was organic. You literally just called us big brothers and decided that we're going to be family. From that.
That sounds just like me.
Yes. Then Akinka came on board. It was good. And basically, we built a relationship from there that transcended anybody's comprehension. Today, I make bold to say that from Akinka to Ibido, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Nilayo Sports Management, to Titi Tadi, Tinuka Guyaki, we hardly get to see or talk, but that was the huge family
Yeah.
that we were able to create. And that for me went straight to what my grandfather used to say, that it is not true blood that people get related, and it is not true blood people get loyalty. That
Absolutely.
loyalty can come from anyone. Our relationship has epitomized what my grandfather used to say, that you can have a blood brother or sister even when the blood is not biologically linked.
Absolutely. What he's modestly not saying is I was a train wreck then. I was a train wreck. I am always all about vulnerability. I always say that the people view who I am now and think that I've always been this way. But I was not always this way. And he saw me at my worst. I was an emotional wreck.
But to your credit,
No, but you have to talk about that because a lot of people they don't acknowledge the fact that you have to go through certain things to actually come out of it and
it
grow.
was a struggle, not just for you, for all of us who had become um, biologically linked with you in emotional
Yeah.
and even in the physical aspect of truly loving someone. It was always very tough. I remember a particular episode where Abby and I went to eat lunch.
And you ate without me and I
And
I used to have some don't ask me where I got these attitudes from. If they ate
myself, Abby, and Akinka were literally having jollof rice and Tessa.
I wasn't paying no.
For those who are on those state university, and you walked in and all hell was let loose. And
I used to have some temper tantrums back then.
Abby, to say it in Yoruba, oh, you, yes. Abby could not finish his food anymore. He came and ran away from his food. And I just sat there looking at you, and I thought, I understand where you were coming from. And we knew where you were coming from. And it was your way of actually telling us that if I show you so much love, Why can't you show? And
That's crazy.
find out, I grew up with you, understanding that better even today, where you like to bring value into people's lives emotionally. You do not demand value. You expect that people should know that life is about creating a quid pro quo.
Hmm.
Where I give to you, you give to me back.
But you also told me that you also taught me how to
The
balance.
reality of
He taught me number one how to be more balanced, how to be more diplomatic, how not to take things so personal. I remember you said, "Oh, Remi kò le tó gbogbo yẹn." I,
yes, yes,
he
ma-
has taught me so
yes,
much.
many times. And this has made you a very strong woman. Um, Part of your struggle emotionally then on campus also taught me a lesson on how people must be um, barriers and pillars at the same time. Barriers in the sense that you create a platform where you protect people you
Absolutely.
care about,
Hmm.
and pillars where you also stand firm for people to lean on you. And it was tough to the extent that a lot of women I know today who are successful women were girls then who were very petty in fighting you just for you being emotional and loving those you called your brothers. I won't mention names.
We're not mentioning nobody's names.
A lot of them are big women today.
No
And
names.
it's funny that at times when I bump into one or two of them, I say to them, have you ever apologized to Remy for the sort of things?
I had a lot of bullies there. And you just reminded me, I had a lot of bullies. They did not understand my very friendly personality. I was way ahead of my time because the friendliness that I was exuding then, people are like, oh, she must be sleeping with all of them. And
Absolutely.
at one point, I was a virgin and they said I was sleeping
Oh,
with
yeah.
5 people.
And
I
it
cried
was
my
so
eyes
hard
out.
because your value system was extremely high.
Very high.
Way back then.
Very high. I was a virgin and they said I was sleeping with 5 people. And I'm like, I'm never going to, I remember crying to you. I said, I'm never going to get a husband. And he's like, I read me, don't worry, they will know it. It's crazy.
Yes, yes, but so that gave me the and I'm sure I speak for King and Abi when I say that that prepared all of us without knowing that we're going to have female children,
True.
but it prepared us on how we were going to look after our girls.
Girls, yeah.
Because I remember many times I was so to Denike and Olamide, I'll be like, your Auntie Remy doesn't care if
Now I don't
yes,
care. Now I
I
don't
will
care.
use the present tense,
Hmm.
and I'll go back to how you suffered tremendously growing up, caring about what people said.
I did.
And I'm so proud that even my 8-year-old Oluwatofumi, I'll say to her, who told you you need
Validation by
from
anybody
anybody?
else. I
You
know.
know, Adenike and Olamide have made me so proud um, because of that attitude of saying, look, I look at the mirror, I know what I see, I know who I know. And I was able to gain my experiences of handling a female
Fat
child
girls from
from the way we were able to. You allowed us to manage you. I'll say allowed us to manage. So I remember an episode. Charlie, I'm sorry, I have to say this.
you can say. I'm sure he's going to be looking forward to this episode.
Episode where a gentleman, I can't remember his name.
Yinka.
Yinka.
Yinka. It was Yinka.
Get
He's
the
dead.
goes. Oh my God.
May his soul rest in peace. I know. Nero told me. Another topic for another day, but it's so.
Came to bed
Yeah.
last night, wanted
He
to
wanted to
date
take me out on a date, and everybody was like, "Where are you going with
and
your
we
sister?"
agreed.
Yeah.
Eventually, we agreed.
But they gave him criteria.
I said, yeah, it was high time you started, you know,
By the time you got found a guy to date.
and we allowed him to take you out for dinner.
Yes.
He was meant to return you by 9 p.m.
He came late, and it was what they were ready to
And
ready to go
11
looking for him.
o'clock on the dot, 11 p.m. on the dot, when we didn't see you, there were no mobile phones.
None back then.
In the dark alleys of Ado Ekiti,
They were looking for me.
the men decided to ride on the street. Um, for those who knew how, how strong we were as men, we were ready to
Go to war because I wasn't back on time for
and as we
my
were
dates.
marching on the street to look for him,
He
he
came.
drove in, he drove in and he said, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, yeah, yes, we're going to look for you. And I remember him saying, I will never mess up with your sister. Whether I did eventually or not, I do
Well,
not
yeah,
know.
that's a whole nother story.
But I was proud of the fact that the fear factor that we were able to create for you, for our other female friends who were like sisters, is a fear factor that I also believe has helped us as parents.
Become better parents.
Yes, because when you have a female child, um,
You want to
as a
be
man,
protective.
the onus is on you to have also the strategies to protect that child. And
Absolutely.
we learned that from having this organic relationship with you.
Yeah. Intentional friendships to me, when I think about it, I don't think any of us could have envisioned that our friendship from then would be what it is now, that is now transcended our kids, our spouses, and we are even talking about our old age. But 30 years ago, that nobody could have thought of that. I feel like nowadays people don't put as much value in their friendships. What do you think?
You're right to a certain extent, but it all goes back to value.
Agreed.
It goes back to the topic of today,
Mm-hmm.
intentionally knowing what you want in a friendship,
Agreed.
not sacrificing yourself joy
Mm,
just because you want to be friends with someone.
absolutely.
And since we started this interview, you'd have noticed that I've used the word organic.
Because yeah, ours was a.
It was organic.
I felt like I had one pair of shoes back then. One pair of shoes. I was not this. None of this was any of. I think of all of us, I was the least dressed. I had no clothes. I didn't have. I was again, as I said, a hot mess. What they saw, I started to ask you like, what made you not discard? Because most people now, if you were to look at that nowadays, they would say, I can't be friends with this
We
person.
don't belong to the same category.
We don't belong to the same category. But for whatever reason, we were still able to create a friendship, even though we were not on the same level by any way or form. Your mom, his mom is one of my five moms. She took me from the minute I came to your house. Mommy became my mom. There's like we don't call ourselves friends again. I'm her daughter. We stopped calling each other friends. We're cousins actually, but it's easier to tell people that okay we are related because nobody could understand how.
No time for that long
And
explanation.
nobody had time to explain. So
And
we just
because again, when people see us, the first thing they see is,
love.
oh, I brought book in here, I bought Remini.
That's it.
That's what they see. So to not come back, that would diminish the value in the intention of the friendship that we've been able to create. It's the same thing with the middle way. I do not go as far as saying I met him. No, I said
It's family.
that's my blood, that's my brother,
Yep.
and that is my ride and die.
Mm-hmm.
You know, rather than saying, "Oh, we met,"
Yeah.
he was reading newspapers, we were doing our medicals. That's long. He's my brother. He's my blood, and it's the same thing with you. And to the topic of today, if you look at the intention of this relationship and the way it grew
Organically.
org- easily organically. So when I left for England, and when you were coming to America, how you it was
You were instrumental with all of
it
it.
was a
You were
circle
part
of
of it.
trust.
It was.
Who do
It
I
was.
date? Who do I
Hmm.
want to be with? Who to the bad job?
Your house was my haven.
Right.
Your house was my haven. I didn't want to go anywhere else. In fact, I got deported. That's how badly I wanted to be in his house. No, I
You came back within 1 week.
I came back because I was like, no, 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 no. The only place I felt safe was his house. They deported me. Seriously, that's how safe you made me feel as a big brother. His wife made his ex-wife Donna was. I feel like there are just so many memories. There's so many things in my life that would not have
Yeah,
happened.
I was like that.
We were.
Just like you and
Yeah, yesterday as well. Everybody that's been in your life has been a part of my life. Everybody that's been in my life has been a part of your life.
You know, something funny you mentioned a few days ago about how Tosin was running late.
It was Toyin.
Was it
Toyin.
Was running late and was about to miss.
Oh, I'm gonna tell that story later. There's later on. I want to tell that one later. Don't tell that one now.
All right.
But no, let's go back to
No,
how
but
organic,
it goes
organic. No, to our
Right.
organic friendship. It's like, what was it about? What was that thing that made this problematic girl What made you accept? What did you see? I know I was looking for friends. I was looking for people. Like I was just looking for an escape. But what did you see?
So again, so I was born a natural leader,
Agreed.
and part of the things that have been inculcated into me, especially by my mother, because my father spoilt me silly. You know that. You know,
No, that's the first time you're telling me that. I
I was
didn't
always rich in school. Where did I get money from?
come to me as you just said it that you were spoiled. I'm like,
I was very spoiled.
I did not
I
notice
was
that.
taking cars out of the house when I was 13, 14. I was,
We learn something new every day.
and guess what? Those were things Brother Kanye could not try. That I tried.
Hey,
Never flogged me or smacked me one day.
are you
The
serious?
truth is, he would say, "Man, no, Eleni, I'm going to flog
But
this man."
never.
He will open the door. He will say, "I'm going upstairs to bring the cane." Come on now. It wasn't rocket science.
Oh, Tisalo.
It wasn't rocket science. He wanted me to run.
You wanted you to run, so you ran.
And I always ran. And I always ran to my friend's place, the Otwakians, where they'll give us food and everything. And middle of the night, my mother will go look for her thing and bring me back into the house. But
That's the story. Imagine, as long as I've known him, I've not heard this story before.
but mommy on the other side, um, intentionally, we're talking about intentions, intentionally felt I needed
Affirm.
a strong, firm hand to be a leader because she was a very successful businesswoman from her cement business to her Nigerian breweries business to the Adire that is so popular today. My mom used to take thousands of Adire to Port Harcourt and Onitsha. And I was 13, 14. She would leave BC, Tokumbo, and Remy
With you.
with me. I'll do the prepping for school. I'll cook, get Remy to his nursery. BC and boss will always pick to come up to school. BC always needs his way to school. But that prepared me for leadership, and that also prepared me not just for leadership on face value, leadership of complete love for my siblings. By the time I got to Baptist West High School in Abeokuta, I had school sons who just like I met you, organically became my boys in school that I had to show leadership to. I had to mentor, which is why mentorship has become so
Such a
natural
big
with me
difference.
today.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things I enjoyed the most in my life. So by the time I met you, Tinu,
Titi.
Titi,
Tola.
Bonjour,
Bordery.
by the time I met you guys, do not forget I had spent about 4 years in the iron station environment. So it wasn't my first rodeo.
Agreed.
I'd done A levels at Ogun State Polytechnic for 2 years. I'd done OSU for 2 years before I was asked to leave. I came to and I came to Osua. So once you guys were genuine Dabites,
We were new, green, freshmen for the people that didn't go to school in Nigeria. Freshmen.
yeah, they were Javites, freshmen. And I saw the Jambito attitude.
Freshness. Naive. Ignorant. We didn't know what the heck we were doing.
The question that you kept asking without saying what you were, without saying,
Without saying it.
was,
What should I do?
what do I do
What
next?
do I do
I
next?
need
Guidance.
direction. I need guidance.
For sure.
And immediately the natural instinct of me
To
being
protect.
a mentor and a protector kicked in, and I thought I have to look after these girls. And that was why many times I remember one night a fraternity had a flight behind Tinuke's roof. And I got to school early with you, and Tinuke was singing the song. And I said,
You know what that song means.
and she said she couldn't sleep all night because she was scared. And I felt so guilty, knowing that I knew what was going on. I knew what had gone wrong, and I thought, never again am I going to allow people go and do that to you guys. Many, many things like that that showed that I needed to be a leader. I needed to be a big brother. And don't forget, I went to an all-male school.
Yeah.
So it was the first time I was having sisters outside of
Other
Yemsi to
Jemsu,
my
yeah.
sister. I don't. I mean, I have sisters,
Of
but it
course.
was the first time I was having
That you got to pick, basically. It's like you
right,
got to pick your sister.
right, right, and so I just felt at the time that look, give this a shot, and he grew. He grew to what it is today. No regrets. So many important lessons have been learned along the way. So
So,
many gains.
hmm. So
From
many moments, so many lessons for me. I know a lot of people talk to me and say, oh, how impressed they are about so many things that I've done. But a lot of those lessons were learned from you. You were the first person in my life that had, at that point in time, that I was party to and I'd seen have kids. And so it's like my big brother has kids. It's like these kids are my kids. Like his kids were literally my first kids. Everything he did, I was like, I just sat there and watched it all. I watched everything you and Donna did with Nikki and Lami and Nikki, Lami, and Ayo. And I'm like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I have I can't, I don't think there's any other person, you know, everybody in my life. There's nobody else that I would have learned all of those lessons from. So I wouldn't be the mom I am today without you
thank
and
you,
without the openness and the warmth that you've always had for me in your home. Any home you've ever had was a home for me. And I'm sure, me being me, emotional me, I'm going to get a little teary, but you won't know what that meant to me back then. What it still means to me today is I just, there's no other way to explain it. I wouldn't be who I am without you. Without you, I wouldn't have met the guy that I wouldn't have got my. Where should I even start from? I wouldn't have your mom as my mom. Now we need to insert the video of Marv. You need to insert the video of mommy here. The way she's singing here is how she has always sang to me whenever I came to her house, because I would always come with one cry or another, and she would just start singing, and it would just make me smile. Till today, she still does that. I no longer have reasons to cry, but that's what she's always been. Just because you brought me into your home, it allowed me to see that. It allowed me to see that, you know what, Remy, your house is not the only place that you can feel love and you can see warmth, that there are other people that are not related to you that will still love you. And they will take you all your problems. Mommy would pray for me. She'd be like, Remy, oh my da. And so when she sees me happy now, she's like, "Oh, there's somewhere for my dang by." People will tell you that you don't need friends. This Bookie is my the first one that's that close to me, but he's the one that I want to bring forward to show to you that friendships are so important. Yes, people can screw you up, but none of my friends have actually done anything negative to me. My friends saved me. I say it all the time that you guys literally saved me. Moments when I would want to give up, all I would have to do, if you would call me, like you would sense what's wrong with you. Should I Popsy, I don't think she got dad doing something. You always had the best things to tell me that would cheer me up. And then you'd be like, okay, don't worry. You only have a year amount of days left. We're going to be back in school soon. Or do you want to come home? Mommy says you should come. She's going to cook so and so for you. Why you were there for me like that, I don't know, but you literally saved me. I stopped looking forward to going home. I look forward to going to your home, which became my home. Your mom became my mom. Your sister and your brothers became my extended family. And it allowed me to just leave everything I was going through behind and be like, you know what? There are other people out there. They don't have to have everything, but there's a spot for you. You can look beyond your house. Just because your house is not great doesn't mean that the world is not still good. You were part of the first set of people to let me see the world through another lens. And I've always said to you, every time I see you, I'm forever grateful for that.
thank you,
But I want to say it on air. I've talked about you in many different forums, but with you here and with tears in my eyes, I have to say that I wouldn't be the woman I am without you. I would not have met my husband without you. I wouldn't be the mom I am without you. I'm like, it's a lot.
uh,
But all of that,
we you
I
know
associate
we
to
give
you.
praises to God. We give praises to God. Again, all of that have been made possible because of who you are. Because you open yourself up for so many things. You wanted to be a good person in life. You wanted to succeed. You wanted to, and you have so much love in you. I cannot understand how. To say I became selfish because I wanted all of those love from you, and I refused to share. Um, because for those who do not know, Remy Fagbon is all about love. That's the truth. I've met so many women who would say to me, "Oh, I saw Remy greeting you on Instagram. Why is she to you?" That woman has that woman has taught me so much. That woman has shown me love, and I've never met this woman, and she has shown me love. So many, and at times I'll call her to say,
He
"Oh."
does. In the middle of the night, I'll be like, and I always pick up because he knows me. He knows that it doesn't matter what time of day it is. I'll always pick up.
So it's because of the kind of person you are. You spoke about my mom and how your relationship with my mom has even become closer than even our own biological children. And what do I mean by that? I remember how mommy would drive all of us out of our room
When I came in,
and she'd say, "You should sleep in our bed." You were actually sleeping in mommy's
I
bed,
did say for you.
yourself and Tombo. And she would say, "No, let my daughter sleep and you be in our room in the morning."
Feasting,
Just,
talking.
yes, just all night. And the money will come. She'll still say, "Go and do it." Such was the sort of aura you carried and that you still carry to tomorrow. I know I speak the minds of so many people whose path has crossed yours, on how you lavish love on people. My daughter said to me last week, Denike, she said, "Daddy, do you know I have a weekly session with Auntie Remy?"
My daughters come
and,
first.
and that I had to ask Auntie Remy, "Why do you love me so much?"
Why can I not?
So, but you see, she asked you that
She did ask me that question.
because the love you've shown to them for as many years that they've been alive has been very, very natural. So when you open yourself up for people to love you, you will be loved.
True.
And when you open yourself up for people to dislike you, you'll be disliked. In your own case,
I think it was my vulnerability.
I
That
don't
being
think
said,
so. I don't think so. I think again, it was
just being open to say to not being I was never ashamed. I carried my heart on the sleeve. I would tell you everything that was
but
going
you
on.
also forget, those forget that you became a mommy too early.
Well, agreed.
And what do mothers give?
Love, love everything, everything.
That actually, for me, has influenced your being, your ability to mother through the
Feel the
rigors
pain.
of the intense family system that you were in. And before we came into the studio, we were talking about how each family will face their own challenges
Okay,
and how you must take the positives
absolutely.
from that and just flush down the toilet the negatives and move on with your life and create something very decent, something very interesting. I have a great life today, and I'm happy I've seen you having a great life with Charles,
Mm-hmm.
and of course with your beautiful son, um, Charles,
Just
who also has now become a young man that knows how to give love
absolutely.
because he has
It's been
a
shown.
He has a mother who has tutored him through life on how you must show love wherever you go to. Let me tell you something. Um, Bankole, my wife's cousin, and her brothers, and his brothers, just developed an app called um, Easy Tipping,
Okay.
which my wife and I will invest in.
Okay.
Easy Tipping, please go to Apple Store and I'm using your phone. But you know, I'm talking about it.
Why?
I didn't go to finishing school. I was tutored. I was born in Shell Petroleum
Mm-hmm.
in Warri. We were tutored on how to be gentlemen, on how to have good table manners, how to address people. But one thing you lectured me on
What's tipping?
that has become part of me today is how you must tip and how you must look after people.
But let's start
Where
from
do
the
you think
beginning.
that? Where do
I
you think
was
that
a
came from?
waitress because my first
No,
job.
but that came from love.
Yeah, agreed from love, but it's also my experience because I would complain I was waitressing and I would save up all of my tips to buy my ticket to come to London. And so the first thing they were like, "So how have you been? What's happening?" So we need to go back. When I first moved from Nigeria, if you're following the story from King Women, I moved from Nigeria and I was in Bookie's house for about maybe 45 days. I wanted to stay there forever. They gave me a 30-day visa. I extended it. Don't ask me why, because I did. We didn't know the rules then. I just thought I could just flaunt the rules. I stayed for 45
Yeah, because
days.
you're American,
I
and we just
didn't
thought
think that.
American can come in and go out.
Apparently, no. So they gave me a 30-day visa. When I was leaving, they're like, why did you overstay? I gave one flippant answer. What did I know? I was like 21. When I tried to come back,
I know the answer you gave.
what else like I said?
That you were coming back to meet your boyfriend. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. Wrong answer all day.
I'm like, we did not know any better. I think I got to America and I was like, this place is not working for me. I'm
When I
going
was
back
at the
to
airport, fighting immigration and telling them off and saying she has to come in.
I going back a week or two later. I'm like, I'm going back to meet my big brother in London. They held me for how many days? 2 days. I think I was in what is that guy?
More than you have to wait for the next flight.
I was in tears. This is me calling. And the thing about Bookie that I'm going to point out to you is like, no matter when I called, I'll be crying. Hey, Remy, I'm outside. I'm here. I'm there. And you are always there. I'll find somebody. I'll shake in the call. My worry. Yeah, but no, with all of that, I still got sent back. But the job that came for me after that was waitressing.
Yeah.
And my waitressing job, Bookie was like, so how do you make any money? This your hourly rate is not. I said, it's the tips. Only show tips. Eh? Is that how you're making your money? I said, yes. And then he would ask me how much I make because we would talk every day. And he was like, so how much did you make today? How much did you make here? Then he's like, tip at Lossy restaurants. You say, I must make sure that I tip regularly because I remember it from me working as a waitress. I think all of us learned how to be better tippers after we realized that this is where Remy makes our money.
Manicure, pedicure.
That's really little thing.
Because usually, I've been doing my manicure and pedicure from when I was 15.
Yeah, but nobody's thinking about giving them money.
I will go in, do my thing, and just pay in Abeokuta at Cincy, and I'll just pay and just leave. But it was when you inculcated that attribute into us and educated us on how to tip, I became a master tipper. But you see, again, when you look at tipping, with the way you introduced it to us, it came from a place of love. It came from a place of protection. It came from a place.
It came from understanding and seeing what your sister is going through.
Yes.
And how those tips made a difference.
It doesn't mean, for those watching and listening, it doesn't mean she can be tough. It doesn't mean she's not. She she can be tough. Remy was the one, is the one who will say, Madam, he's married. Move away from there. and potential girlfriends would always say,
that's your sister.
Which of his sister? Ouch. But no, but
so many experiences. I mean, we have so many experiences between us. There's so many, just like you said about the tipping. There's so many things. I always say that there are things that happened with you raising the girls that I learned from. I learned how to take kids to the park and how they needed that separate time from you. That's not a Nigerian thing at all. Did I even say park? I don't even think I ever saw a park growing up. But every time I would save up my tipping earnings, I would buy a ticket. I go and meet Bookie, and then the first thing I did was I dropped back. Yeah, yeah. But the first thing I wanted to do was to take the girls to the park.
Shops for everybody.
I always shop, right? See, this is the thing. All the things with me were organic. I didn't know I would turn that into a profession.
I said to her,
how many people are you shopping for?
I'm richer than you.
But I don't shop for people like that.
Why are you doing this? Why are you shopping for your fault?
That was my way of giving back. What your Bookie doesn't realize is that my love that I was giving then, that was it. I didn't have money to give anyone. So all I could give you was me. So I would cook, I would take care of everyone. I wanted people to understand that I didn't have money, but I had me. So I'll always be there for you. I can always show you all the love I have. I can, sit down and talk to you. I'll make food. I would support whatever you're doing because I didn't have any money to give. So the minute I had small money, I was thinking of, this person needs this person needs that. Who knew that would be a profession? because that's what turned into a profession, was me. And then I knew Titi's style was different from Tola's style, and then Maureen's style was different from this person's style. And so I started with my friends. One of the many things that people don't know is that when I first started personal styling, it started from my roommates. Titi and Tola would never, they were paying for our room. My only thing that I could contribute to the room was like, okay, no, you can't go out like that. Nope, you'd have to change that outfit. I'm going to put that with this. This is how you should go. So I was their stylist. And I took care of our room. It was my pride and joy to do. Like, they could not just go outside looking anyhow. Who knew that that would turn into a profession?
No. Yeah, there you go.
Who knew?
There you go. So when your intentions are real,
There we were. I just wanted to make sure they looked good. I mean, they had the clothes. I'm like, okay, no. I don't know
what
where
that
I had
tells you is that intentions can be monetized.
Yes.
When
Yes. Without even knowing it.
when they are good
When they're
intentions.
good.
Look, every time, as part of the things that you also have brought into my own life, anybody that knows me very well knows that it's become a sine qua non. Once every year, I come to Times Square for a week.
We used to have that. You used to come to my place.
Right.
We used to come to my place.
You have to take your stories.
It's a studio apartment. Like 6 of us.
Richard Bango,
Richie,
Baby,
he would bring him and his. I don't know how we slept, and I had a full size futon. We managed. Everybody was there. It was all love. Those people on the floor.
Big pot of food.
And a big pot of food, and that was it. But my point is, these are all those intentional memories that we created. Your first viewing of Mariah Carey was with me. We're at some place. IHOP used to be our spot.
Envy was a problem. I was dancing with my.
But the point is, we have so many memories, and that's what has built this friendship. We may not get to see more than once a year now, but every time we see, we talk regularly. But every time we see, it is catching up on everything that has happened in between.
And also, so my daughters would always try to bring me up to date on urban life, up to date on how you have to respect people's sexuality, how you have to respect people's. And I remember saying to Denike and Olamide that I've never been homophobic. I've never had anything.
No, my first gay friend.
And I told them the story of how you take me to the village.
To the village. I didn't go to the gay parade once. Did we not go to gay parade?
Yes,
We
yes.
got ourselves.
That's the thing I wanted to tell. And how, I remember you saying this, and how one day you took us, we went shopping, and this gay guy was
Hitting her.
no, was always going, and it was it of me. That was me. Don't let me say
You know you are. I know not you.
always followed you guys into the dressing room.
He's gay. It was always.
And I said, can I be gay so that I can bring No, but the seriousness of what I'm saying is that New York, as you know, Remy, as a resident of New York,
Impacted you.
exposed me to globalization.
Yeah.
And prepared me quickly on how the future of business was about
What's going to be?
understanding that we live in a global village. And there was nothing like internet. Well, there was internet.
But not as what it is today.
And since 1998, 99, I found myself coming to New York once every year. Maybe twice. Like this year's going to be twice. Me already. And I know
I saw you before.
I have to go back during the
summer.
But what that has done in terms of impact is that it has shown me that the friendship again can come in different forms.
Absolutely.
The love you showed us in your studio, such an Albany, has now transcended beyond
all of that.
And so today, when I sit down and see myself in Times Square in one of the best hotels, and I come to you in New Jersey in beautiful homes that you've lived in, the memories.
Those are priceless.
Are priceless. They're memories that I sit back and say,
they're part of our history.
Right.
Part of our history.
We have grown beyond comprehension.
Yeah, yeah,
God has done his bit for us,
absolutely,
using this intentional friendship
absolutely.
to broaden
Our
our
horizons,
horizons,
yeah, absolutely.
beyond what we thought it was going to be.
Absolutely. There's so many things that I said. You've talked about your exposure to things with me, but I also talk about everything that you taught me. Buki was the one that taught me how to be savvy with men. Like, hey, you have to know what you're doing. You need to have, but there's also a part there, and I have to also say this as well. Buki was the first person to he would also be the one to pull me up, like, you know what? When we would have issues in my marriage, he was the first to tell me that, you know, that I'm actually surprised that things went this way. And I'm like, what did I do? What was so wrong with me? What was so wrong with me? I'm like, it's a hard pill to swallow. Imagine somebody you feel like is up here telling you that, mommy, also, but literally, you need that. I don't want friends that are just going to tell me what they think I want to hear. I want friends, and I've always been grateful that I've had that in you, and I know you have that with me too. I don't ever lie to you. I've never had to lie. Everything who I am, finish. You have seen all of it, but you would always tell me when I effed up. And you would also then tell me, like, so what do you want to do to fix it? Like, you
So
never left me.
we've always looked at the problems.
Yes, we always address
We've
the
always
problems.
invited each other on the problems,
Absolutely.
but we've always also immediately
Found a
worked
solution.
on solutions.
Absolutely.
And before we came into the studio, I give yourself and Charles props on how you've optimized sacrifice in marriage.
Yeah.
I remember July 2011 that I flew in. You literally
I
begged me to
called him.
fly in.
I called him when we were in the midst of a crisis, and I'm like, he's always the person I run to first, always. So, and he flew down.
I remember how delicate that was. So when I see your videos and your write-ups on Instagram talking about marriage and where you are today with Charles, I tell people quickly that facts, these are not um, creations, these are not things that are put in the public
Yeah,
space.
we really went through it.
That whatever you see her writing or whatever she's telling you,
She lived.
she lived.
She lived.
And for me, July 2011 and the day Joseph and Charles sat down with me and decided that forward is where we're going with a marriage was um the period I knew that
These people might make it.
no, these people will definitely make it. 20 years that road. I still remember how you and Charles met.
You went there. We were together. He was basically making fun of me at the airport.
Charles in its beautiful white and white linen.
And yeah, I used to like that oversized linen. He was not showing his true.
Walked into the plane
And
said,
and he made fun of me saying
"Okay,
that
what's up?"
he made fun of me like, oh, you like fine boy, that you like fine
You
boy.
know you toasted Charles.
I did. I stepped to him. I'm not shy about that. I said I shot my shot, as they say it these days.
And Denike was your babe, was it?
Was my
You
woman.
can't, because Charles was playing with him. He said, "Hey, so he likes baby."
He likes, you know, when they were making eye contact, they were making Google eyes. I'm like, who do you know here? And so when he came back, I was like, but well, how far? Do you know this guy? And you're like, you too like fine boy. What's your? And I said, what's the story? But the point is that, yeah, I still bring all that back
But
to
what
you.
you didn't realize was that you had met Charles.
I didn't remember that until your wife told me that, until Donna told me. Donna said that I had met him
We had a small
many years before. So that means that, again, but it still comes back to you. I met him the first time years before. I met him the second time through you. If I wasn't in Nigeria, I wasn't ready to go to Nigeria then. You were the one. Donna actually insisted that the only way she would let her daughter go to Nigeria is if I was there.
Correct.
And that was how close we were. She was like, the only other person I trust with my child is after her dad is with me, because I was just so taken and in love with all of them.
Correct.
But the point is, all of these things regarding our friendship is what has made our bond so tight. I can't look at my husband and think of our beginning and not remember you. We not remember Nike. I not remember even me leaving Nigeria. I can't associate it with anybody else. You are the one that gave the tickets. We didn't have electronic tickets then. So it was a physical hard ticket that he gave to a woman who was carrying a baby in a red sweater. I remember it so clearly. So here I am at the airport, not sure whether I was going to travel or not. And it's like, I'm just looking for a woman with a red sweater. I might be traveling, I might not be traveling. Imagine the uncertainty. It's like he said he sent it, but there was no cell phone back then. So I would have to run to a pay. How many payphones are working in Murtala Mohammed Airport at that point in time?
We
So
used to go to Allen.
but the point is, I'm at the airport waiting to see whether I'm going to travel or not travel. All of that is still coming back to you.
Thank you.
Friendship is not what you people are thinking of it now. And of course, there's no way to know that you and your friend are going to have this kind of history. But even if you don't know, all you can do is put your best foot forward in all you do. And every single step of the way, you've always done that for me. And I know that I've always loved doing that for you. You were always the one person I knew that, yes, now he's so busy. You don't understand that he's a very busy man. But if I just finding him and telling him I need to have a conversation with him was all we needed to do, because the sleep will clear from his eye and we're like, okay, clinical to need. What's going on? Are you okay? That's it. And we've always had that. So with in regards to our intentional friendships, what's the one thing that you would like to leave everyone with in regards to how they should build on their friendship? Because a lot of people think that friendships are not good, whereas I've only had the best of experiences with all of mine. What would you advise people in regards to in being intentional in regarding their friendships?
Sincerity of purpose. Sincerity of purpose. Just you must understand that value on the table is best served when it comes from both ends.
Agreed.
Um, in our own case, it was you wanting to be loved and you wanting to give love.
Absolutely.
It was I, AB, Akinka,
Titi Tola.
wanting to also be loved.
Connection.
And in my own case, wanting to play
Lead.
the big brother
Lead.
and to lead.
Yeah, I think we all had different roles that we played.
Yes, but ultimately, I want to thank you for all you've done for womanhood. I want to thank you for all you've done for my children. I know Adenike and Olamide do appreciate you. Um,
And I love them dearly.
I know Ayo loves you too,
I
even
do
if he
too.
doesn't.
I know.
And I know tough for me. You've not had the time to actually spend quality time and impact on her. But hey,
It's coming.
she's an American like you. One day we just
She
come and
is
drop her
coming.
in New Jersey. But for what you've done through your various platforms for humanity and for womanhood, I want to thank you. I want to advise that you keep doing what you do best, because one of the things that has become the bane for us as a country in Nigeria is the lack of mentorship for young people. You have become a great mentor. I know they call them influencers today, but I refuse to call you. You are an influencer, but I refuse to just reduce you to that. You are a great mind with a great mentorship skill, with genuine love permeating the air wherever you like, you choose to mentor. And I just want to plead with you to continue. Life, they say, is too short, but for us, we'll live long and
Amen.
continue to impact positively in the lives of people. And I hope that this your new platform will go a long way in helping not just women alone, but also men, because we also need to understand that to deliberately, intentionally create friendship
There you go.
comes from a place of love. And I
Absolutely.
wish everybody a very happy New Year, a very happy 2024. I've started mine in New York. See you soon in Nigeria.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Deliberately Intentional. I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Your friendships are a decision that you have to intentionally make. Every chance meeting you have with someone, there's no way you're going to know who or what that person is going to be to you or how that relationship is going to pan out. But the only thing that you have to do is put your best forward and at least try. If we hadn't tried, if we hadn't started our friendship, we wouldn't be 30 plus years into it at this point. So we had to try. So you have to try too. Don't let fear hold you back because you just don't know. You never know. I am grateful for my guest, Mr. Bukola Olopade. Grateful for my producer, Marv. Thank you as always. And I'm also grateful for all of you for tuning in. Thank you again, and tune in to another episode every Wednesday on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Thanks, everyone.